Welcome back to my YouTube channel Rare Coins Treasures. What if I told you that a single penny could be worth more than a house in California? That an old coin sitting in your kitchen drawer could pay off your mortgage, buy your dream car, and still leave you with enough cash to fly first class to Paris? Because that's exactly what happened with the 1952 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Recently, one of these seemingly ordinary copper coins sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $5.95. And no, this isn't clickbait. This is a cold, hard fact. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can't even find matching socks. How am I supposed to find a $600,000 penny? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. And more importantly, what not to overlook. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 1952. Eisenhower wins the presidency. Gas is 20 cents a gallon. And in the quiet mints of San Francisco, a batch of Lincoln wheat pennies rolls off the press, each one bearing the tiny S mint mark under the date. At first glance, they're nothing special. Just another copper cent, right? Here's the twist. Most of these 1952 pennies were mass-produced, over 137 million to be exact. But within that ocean of coins lies a needle in the haystack. A few rare examples were minted under extraordinary conditions with exceptional sharpness, pristine surfaces, and virtually no contact marks. And those elite few, they're now worth enough to change lives. One of these ultra-rare 1952 pennies made headlines recently. Graded MS 67 plus red by PCGS, meaning it's in near-perfect condition. Bright red copper tone, untouched by time. It shattered expectations at auction. The winning bid? $5.95,000. Let that sink in. That's $500,000. For 1 cent, what's crazier? A 70-year-old penny selling for the price of a Ferrari? Or the fact that you might be using one as a paperweight right now? And here's the part that should raise the hair on your arms. Many people have thrown these coins away. Or worse, cashed them in at Coinstar for face value. It's not just rare. It's tragic. But here's the good news. You might already own one of these valuable coins without realizing it. In just a few minutes, I'll walk you through the 3 key things to look for on your 1952 penny that could mean the difference between pocket change and generational wealth. But first, before I show you what to look for on your coin, let's talk about what makes it so valuable in the first place. Because you can't spot a treasure if you don't know what treasure looks like. It all comes down to condition, color, and rarity. Only coins graded MS 67 or higher are hitting those 6-figure values. That means no scratches, no wear, even under magnification. Look for that original bright copper red luster. Coins that have faded to brown or dark tones. Not worth nearly as much. This part is key. Out of millions minted, only a handful have survived in high enough quality to command top dollar. And it only takes one. So what do you do if you find a 1952 penny? First, handle it carefully. Use cotton gloves. No bare fingers, your oils could ruin the surface. Next, compare it to certified examples on auction sites like Heritage or PCGS. Then, consider getting it professionally graded. PCGS or NGC are the gold standards. And finally, if the stars align, sell smart. Sell high. And don't settle for local pawn shops that have no clue what they're looking at. This isn't just about coins. It's about the hidden value in the forgotten corners of your life. It's about the drawer of change you never sorted through. The old coffee can in your garage. And the dreams that could come true because you finally took a closer look. Because sometimes, 1 penny is all it takes. So let me ask you, what's hiding in your pocket right now? Check your coins. Share this video. And who knows, you might be holding your future in the palm of your hand. Subscribe for more rare coin secrets. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare penny. And if you think your coin is worth big money, tag us or reach out. We're featuring real viewer finds next week. What if I told you a single penny, yes, just 1 copper-colored coin, could make you wealthier than your boss, your neighbor, even your favorite lottery winner. And no, you don't need to dig through your couch cushions like a treasure hunter on caffeine. But you do need to check your coin jar fast. Today, we're diving into the 1971 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin so seemingly ordinary it's easy to overlook. But for one lucky collector, it recently sold for an eye-watering $835,000 in a private auction. That's right. While most of us pass this penny without a second glance, certain rare versions are changing lives. But what exactly makes this coin so special? And how can you tell if the one in your drawer is worth millions? Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal the secret traits that separate a fortune from, well, a face value penny. Conflict, reveal the factors, stir emotion, build hope and tension. First, let's talk about that missing mint mark. The U.S. Mint usually stamps a tiny letter under the date, a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco. But in 1971, Philadelphia didn't include a mint mark at all. So yes, technically, no mint mark is normal. But here's the twist. Some 1971 pennies, due to rare errors, die variations, and unusual copper compositions, are now selling for hundreds of thousands. Kind of like your Uncle Joe. Seems average at first glance, until you realize he secretly owns beachfront property in Hawaii. Now, the real goldmine lies in errors and high grades. Some examples include double die obverse off-center strikes ultra high grade, pennies graded MS67 or above, rare copper content or misplanchet strikes. Collectors and investors are desperately hunting for these versions. And the higher the grade, the sharper, shinier, and uncirculated the coin, the closer you inch toward that $1 million mark. But here's the catch. These coins are disappearing from circulation. Every day that passes is another chance for someone else to claim the prize that's sitting quietly in your old coin jar. So how do you know if you've got the right penny? And what should you do before it's too late? Resolution, how to take action, become empowered, and join the wealthy few. Here's your millionaire checklist. Grab a magnifying glass. Look for clear doubling on the words liberty and in God we trust. Check for off-center strikes or other minting errors. Inspect the coin's condition. The fewer scratches, the more it's worth. Weigh it. Standard 1971 pennies should weigh 3.11 grams. Any odd weight could be struck on a foreign planchet. If you're using your bathroom scale, don't. We need accuracy here, not your post-holiday regrets. If you find one that meets these marks, your next step is simple. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC, the top coin grading services in America. A certified high-grade 1971 no-mint mark penny can skyrocket in value overnight. And yes, that's exactly how one lucky owner went from minimum wage to multimillionaire with just one trip to the mailbox. Now imagine it's your coin, your forgotten penny, your shot at turning spare change into serious legacy wealth. But before you go rummaging through your jars, there's one last secret I haven't told you. A detail that could instantly double your penny's value, and it's one that almost everyone misses. Click the next video to uncover the hidden minting flaw even seasoned collectors often overlook, and how it's turning ordinary pennies into six-figure payouts. Check your coins. You could be sitting on $835,000. Subscribe for more million-dollar coin tips. Watch the next video. 1972 penny error that shocked the coin world. What if I told you there's a dusty little penny hiding in your junk drawer that could be worth more than a brand new Lamborghini? That's not clickbait. This 1985 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark recently made headlines when a rare specimen shocked collectors with a market valuation of $743,000. But before you rush to your coin jar, wait. Because most people make the fatal mistake of selling their rare penny for pennies. Simply because they didn't know what to look for. In the next 10 minutes, you'll learn Why the 1985 no-mint mark penny is one of the most secretly valuable coins in circulation. How to spot the one worth over $700,000 and how one wrong move could cost you your millionaire moment. Stick around to the end, because the most important secret is hidden in the smallest detail. Let's rewind. 1985. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was 97 cents, and somewhere in Philadelphia, a coin press made a mistake that would change everything. The 1985 Lincoln penny was supposed to carry a mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. But a small number were struck without any mint mark at all. And even stranger, some had off-center strikes, double dies, and minting defects that were never meant to be released. Let's be honest. If the mint had a bad day, they didn't just throw out the bad coins. They just shrugged and said, it's just a penny. Who's gonna notice? You did. And now you're one step closer to fortune. Here's where the story turns thrilling. When collectors first noticed the 1985 no-mint mark penny, they brushed it off. After all, no-mint mark isn't that rare, right? Most 1985 pennies without mint marks are just worn Philadelphia issues. But a tiny fraction, fewer than 1 in 10,000, have errors that turn them from pocket change into life-changing treasures. One such coin sold at private auction $4.743. 000. Die rotation error doubling in the date and liberty. Text perfect red-brown luster with no signs of circulation. It was graded MS67RD by PCGS, one of the highest possible conditions. Most people spend these coins without knowing. Collectors have found them in change at the gas station, even taped inside birthday cards. But wait, what if I told you the real money isn't even in the penny itself? It's in how and where you sell it. We'll get to that soon. But first, here's how to tell if your coin is worth $1 million or a measly cent. Go grab your 1985 pennies. We're doing a treasure check. Look just below the date. If it's blank, good start. Get a magnifying glass. Look at the Liberty and the 1985. If you see a shadowy doubling effect, that's a strong indicator of a double die. Still shiny and crisp equals jackpot potential. Get it graded. This is where most people lose out. You must get it certified by PCGS or NGC. Without that, collectors won't even look at it. Selling a rare coin without grading is like trying to sell a Ferrari with no engine. And here's where things get serious. You're now holding the keys to a secret that most Americans will never discover. The 1985 no-mint mark penny could be your exit ticket from debt, stress, and paycheck-to-paycheck living. But only if you act fast. Because as word spreads, the value fluctuates, and buyers are racing to scoop these up before the next boom. What if you already spent yours? What if it's sitting in a coin sorter at your local bank right now? We'll cover how to track, value, and negotiate top dollar for your coins in our next video. Top 3 places to sell rare pennies for maximum profit in 2025. So don't miss it. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and sometimes the smallest coin holds the biggest fortune. And your 1985 penny, it could be the one that finally makes you rich. Have you ever spent a penny and unknowingly thrown away a small fortune? You might be sitting on a fortune worth over $643,000 right now and not even know it. Yes, I'm talking about a single 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. To most people, it's just a copper-colored coin. But to collectors and elite investors, it's gold disguised as pocket change. And here's the wild part. Most Americans have no idea they might be walking around with one of these in their junk drawer, coin jar, or stuck between their car seats. Before you cash in your coins at a Coinstar for gas money, you might want to listen to this. Because today, I'm going to show you exactly what makes this penny so rare, why it's skyrocketed in value, and how one of these coins recently made headlines by selling for over $643,000. And by the end of this video, you'll know if the next penny you pick up off the ground could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. But first, a warning. Let's rewind to 1993. Bill Clinton had just taken office, Jurassic Park ruled the box office, and Americans were unknowingly spending millions of rare pennies. straight into vending machines. The 1993 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, this wouldn't mean much, but that year, a bizarre minting anomaly created a handful of error coins so rare, so pristine. They've become the holy grail for collectors, and unlike obvious rare coins, this one hides in plain sight. No silver shine, no double die visible to the naked eye. Just a humble Lincoln cent with a secret, kind of like that one cousin who always shows up broke until he pulls up in a Tesla. These rare 1993 no-mint mark pennies can look completely ordinary until experts take a closer look. Microscopic errors, delicious, unusual planchets, flawless red-brown luster, and in some cases, a proof-like finish never meant for circulation. One of these pennies recently rocked the market when it sold for an earth-shattering $643,000 at auction. Let that sink in. A single cent, turning into enough money to buy a beachfront condo, pay off your mortgage, or retire early and start a vineyard. But what exactly makes your 1993 penny valuable? Here's where it gets intense. Most 1993 Lincoln pennies are worth, well, a penny, maybe two if you're feeling lucky. But the rare few have traits that drive collectors into bidding wars. Let's break it down. Error variance. Some of the most valuable 1993 pennies were struck on bronze planchets left over from 1982, instead of zinc. That creates a heavier, denser coin, one that's a magnet for experts. Die breaks and double strikes. These flaws occur when the minting process malfunctions. Think of it as a coin being born during a lightning storm. Scarcity plus uniqueness equals $. Color and grade collectors are obsessed with red coins, that original reddish tone that fades over time. Combine that with a grade of MS68 or higher, and you've got a coin that might hit the six-figure jackpot. Now, you may be thinking, sure, but how do I know my penny is valuable? Easy. Just stare at it under 3000x zoom, while holding your breath and spinning clockwise. In reality, you'll need a jeweler's loupe or microscope, a scale accurate to hundredths of a gram, and ideally professional grading. But here's the kicker: if you find even one of these traits, you could be holding a small fortune. Still wondering if it's worth your time? Let me ask you this: would you spend 10 minutes to make $500,000? Let's talk about the market. The coin world isn't what it used to be. Prices have surged thanks to record-breaking auctions. The 1993 no-mint mark penny that hit $643,000 was once thought to be worth under $10,000 just a few years ago. High demand from collectors. Baby boomers and Gen Zers are snatching up error coins as investments, turning pennies into portfolio pieces. Vanishing supply. As more people melt down coins or cash them in, rare specimens are disappearing fast. That drives prices even higher. If you've got a 1993 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and it's showing signs of rarity, high grade, or error, do not spend it. Get it evaluated. Get it graded. And whatever you do, don't let it slip into circulation. Your 1 cent could be your $1 million moment. But wait, there's more. Because what if I told you the 1993 penny isn't the only sleeper coin in your pocket change? Coming up in the next video, I'll reveal the 3 other pennies from the 1990s that are quietly selling for more than $100,000 each, and the one you should absolutely never spend. So hit subscribe, tap the bell, and leave a comment if you've got a 1993 penny lying around. I read every single one. Your wealth could be hiding in plain sight. In a penny tray, in a shoebox, or under your couch cushions. Don't ignore it. Don't delay. The millionaire version of you is waiting. See you in the next one. 1 penny. One ordinary-looking, copper-colored coin turned someone into a millionaire overnight. It didn't come from a vault, a museum, or even a treasure chest. It came from a coffee jar in someone's kitchen. This is the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. And its last known sale? A jaw-dropping $743,000. Yes, for a single U.S. penny. Makes you wonder if every time you tip with pennies, you might be giving away a fortune, doesn't it? Now picture this. You're cleaning out your garage, sorting through an old shoebox of change, and you spot a 1998 penny. No mint mark, slightly worn. You shrug, until you remember this video. The average 1998 Lincoln cent is worth just 1 cent. Maybe 2. But a specific version without a mint mark, with one rare error, is a jackpot. Here's the part that stings for many. This coin has slipped through millions of hands, given as change, thrown in fountains, lost under car seats. And each one could have been the big one. But most people never looked, never knew. So what makes this 1998 penny worth nearly $750,000? That's where Act 2 begins. To understand why this coin is so valuable, you need to understand a few key things: rarity, error, and demand. The most valuable 1998 no-mint mark pennies include a rare doubling error, specifically, a doubled die-obverse, where Lincoln's profile and the word Liberty appear slightly doubled due to a misstrike. It's nearly invisible to the untrained eye. But coin collectors? They'll pay thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, for a flawless specimen. And the one that sold for $743,000? It wasn't just rare. It was perfect. But I'll reveal the exact feature that made it explode in value in just a moment. Quick question. When was the last time you looked this closely at a penny? Exactly. Time to dust off your change jar. Friend. Condition is everything. The $743,000 penny was in MS67 red condition. That's mint state 67, with its original red hue and zero handling marks. Less than a handful are known to exist in that condition. And here's the twist. Most people toss these in jars without realizing what they have. The market is heating up. Coin values are rising as collectors fight over dwindling high-grade pieces. The 1998 Lincoln cent is now a legend, but only for those who pay attention. So what can you do today? First, check your coins, especially those 1998 pennies without a mint mark. Look closely for doubling in Lincoln's face and the inscriptions. Second, protect them. If you find one with a hint of doubling, avoid touching it with your bare hands. Use gloves. Store it in a plastic flip. You could be holding a 6-figure payday. Third, get it graded. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can officially authenticate your penny, and that's the only way serious collectors will pay big money. You could be sitting on the key to a new car, a new house, a new life, all in a coin most people overlook. That's not just luck. That's prepared luck. And it starts with knowledge. But here's the secret most sellers don't know. And it can mean the difference between $7 and $700,000. It's not just about the error or the grade. It's about timing. The $743,000 sale happened during a spike in demand and a bidding war among elite collectors. Right now, we're entering another phase just like that. You could let that penny gather dust, or you could let it change your life. The choice is yours. Check your change. Share this video. Subscribe if you're serious about discovering million-dollar coins hiding in plain sight. Because the next great coin story could be yours.